Hello, Katie here from followkatie.com. Hello, hello. I'm going to check if it's working on the computer. Hello, hello. Who is with me today? Hi. So, today we're going to talk about blogs. Yes, it is. It's so hot here. Share on my page. So who is with me today? Page, yes. Hello, hello. Hi Angie, how are you? You see, I'm early today, so you can be with me. It's getting very hot now in Jamaica, so no. But summer is here, so it's how it is. So how are you today? We're going to talk today about the blogging and the posts. What type of posts will bring you more people and more people buying your products or your services. So yes, how is it in the UK, Angie? Is it cold? Or is it okay? So I did a blog about it, so I'll be sharing the blog when I finish with the video. So, so we're waiting for a few minutes. So yes, Angie, is it still cold? I'm going to Ireland next month, so I hope to see the weather. Hi Kelvin, how are you? So I hope to see some lovely weather in Ireland and in France in May. And so today we're going to talk about the blogs, what you should do for blogs to have more followers and people interested into your business. So the first blog, getting one, oh that's great. So the first blog would be your personal story. So it's important that your audience wants to be attracted to you. They want to know you. So you should do a blog when you start blogging about you, why you decided to do this business, why you decided to do this project, or what brought you to this system. For example, it's what I said on my blog. For 4 years I was in network marketing. I didn't really have a system. I was just following up my upline. Until last year I found a community and it was great. So showed me step by step how to get better into my business, and that's how I improved, how I did my blogs, how I did use YouTube, how I started doing videos as well. And Angie was the first one to push me to do my video, which I really appreciate, because at the start it wasn't easy. I wasn't going to do it, and then Angie pushed me. So that's why it's important that you do start with a system, because if you just follow your uplines, follow your the company, they're not going to bring you up at a certain level. They'll just care about what you're going to sell. So that's important to brand yourself, and that I always say that all the time. So the first thing you have to do when you do your blog is introduce yourself, say about why, your experience and what happened before and after, and what you are doing and why you decided to go through this company or through this system. So that is important that you do share your personal story, because people will relate to what you have to say as well. So like if, as I said, I did a blog, if someone was struggling for 3 years and then decided to say, okay, now I really need to find a way to start building my business, then people will relate to your story and they will follow you. So that is important that you have your story, your personal story. So that, and especially when you start using some systems, you have the blog is already set up. So it's much easier for you to start and then starting building your blogs. Then when you want to have your own blog in your own platform, you can change it. But at the start, I would recommend you to go through a system, and then they'll show you everything that you have to go, what the system is doing. You have videos and they show everything you have to do. Hi Angela, hi, how are you? So that is the first one. The second one would be the third party testimonials. So you have to, so for example, okay, you have your personal information. Hi Mathieu, bonjour. So you have your personal testimony, but sometimes they want to hear from your uplines, from your fellow entrepreneurs, from the people around your community. So that's why it's important that you have some blogs as well about people using your system and what brought them to, what did to them, what help they got. So that's why it's important that you have not only your testimonial and your personal story, but as well other people's story. So that is important that you do share some other people's story. Then what you're going to do, you're going to show what you are doing into your business, and that is the third blog that I would recommend you to do. What makes you different or unique? Because when you're going to start sharing your product or your services, you're going to have people that are not going to be agreeing with you, or you're going to go through objections. So that's why it is important that you know exactly your project. And so I always say, be the project of your project. Hi Rudy, hi. So it's important that you know your project and you know the competition. So if, for example, you're doing some services or some project, know exactly your competition and do a blog about it. Because when you receive objections and you don't want to repeat the same time over and over, if you have this blog, you can always send them to that blog and say, okay, I know there is other product doing the same thing, but this is what we have. This is our uniqueness. This is what the difference and what happens to the people. So that first will bring you as an expert, because you know exactly what you're talking about. You know exactly your project, and that is important. So that's why I really say, be the project of your project. But then it will bring you as an expert, as an authority figure, that you know exactly what you're talking about. So it's important that you know exactly your competition about your project or your service, and then you're going to know exactly what you're saying. So this type of blog is important that you do it. So you can share it, as I said, when you have objections and you say, okay, fine, we're doing this. But look at the competition, what they do, what they have, what the difference, and why we are unique and why you should join. Okay, so that is the third type of blog, which would be bringing you what makes you unique. So that is important that you believe in your project, you're the product of your project, and you show that you're unique. Then the fourth one would be the before and after picture. That is very, especially when you're on skincare or weight loss, the before and the after picture. So you can do yours, or you can do as well your some people that are into your system or into your company, but also some customers, because it's not only about money. You have to show passion, and that is always what I say. If you show passion, if you you show that you're interested on people, not only making money from them, and that is very important that you grab that. You have to show that you're passionate of what you're doing, because you're using this project, you're using this service because you like it. And when you show your before and after pictures, or even when you, for example, you have, even on the services, if you, for example, didn't get any leads, but when you started doing this service, you are getting more leads, you have to show, but not only you have to show customers as well. So you have to show that you are passionate of what you're doing, and you're really it's not only about money, but bringing the good into other people. And that is important, that they see you as a human being, not only a person that is looking after money and getting people on their business and not doing anything after that. So that's why it's important that you are doing this after and before pictures, and these blogs talking about what happened to you before, what happened to you after, but not only you, as well your customers, as well people in your team members or whoever is around you. And show passion. That is very important, that you really like what you're doing, because sometimes it's very hard when you have to promote something and you don't believe into it, or you have an upline and you don't believe in your upline. Or it's very hard when you are into a system or into a company that you are not really passionate about it, and it's very hard to bring that to your audience and to bring passion. So that is a fourth type of blog that I would recommend you to do. And then after, the marketing training as well, which is important, because you don't want to tell a million times the same thing over and over. But if you have some blogs about the marketing system, about what you are doing. If you have every step of the way of what they have to do, if for example they join your system, or they go through your project, and then they have a system that you have in place with different blogs, and then you can say, okay, you want to see, for example, the compensation plan or something like that, I can show you that onto one blog. Or even if you have a group, that's great as well, because you can show that on their group, because you don't want to repeat constantly. You have to be there for your team members, but then after, when you start growing, you won't have time to talk for maybe 2 hours or 3 hours with every single individual every day. So you have to have some plans and make blog out of your training marketing about everything you're going to what they have to do step by step. So that is important that you are doing that. As I said, passion, bring some passion, and see, because when you do all this training marketing, they'll see how you are methodical as well, which really, they'll see that you are a leader and you are considerate of bringing them step by step and getting better and better all the time. So that's why that will show that you are a leader, an authority figure, and then you are going to help them becoming as well a leader. Okay, so that's why it's important. So it's what I did a blog about it. What I would do as well is every single blog. Thank you, Angie. Every single blog. Do you have anything to say more? What type of blog? Because I know you are a very good blogger, Angie. If you have anything when you start, what you should do, and to make sure that you are, helping people. If you have anything to add. My little tip that I would recommend you, when you have a blog, make sure you send them to other blog. Okay, so that will bring you as well a better presence online. That will bring you people to see that you are not only doing one blog, but then if you have a few blogs already, like I always do some resources, or I hyperlink. For example, if I talk about blog, how to start a blog, or why is it important to have a blog. So it's very important that you do send people from your blog to another blog or onto your business. So always put other resources, or if you have an ebook. Thank you very much, Angie. Really appreciate that coming from you. So if you have anything that you want to add, because as well you want to tell them to go through your newsletter, because as you know, as an entrepreneur, as a network marketer, you need to have your list. You need to have people on your list. And what I do use for my list is Aweber, that I would recommend you to have your newsletter directly linked to Aweber, which is an autoresponder or GetResponse. There are a few, but I use Aweber, so that is my point of view. And then you send them every day or every 2 days. Like we're doing, like with my team, an everyday Aweber email. So we send them every day something different, and I have a list of different emails we can send. So it's not the same thing. It's not only about as well your business. It can be about your personal stuff. It can be about a training. It can be a quote that you read and you liked it. It can be something completely different of what you're doing. Talk about yourself. Don't talk only business, because they'll be sick of hearing you. And I see, since I started doing it, I have more people looking at my emails. Like, I was very surprised, because usually you don't have a big ratio of people watching your email. Have the headlines. In fact, as I always say, like something catchy, and then they'll open. And then don't put always marketing business. Put something else. It can be a testimonial. It can be a picture of what you're doing during the weekend. It can be a family thing. It can be a holiday. It can be we have our YouTube. If you watch something about Tony Robbins and you liked it, but make sure at the end you always say that what you're doing or what type of marketing you're doing as well. So always have a link, but don't promote constantly your business. Yes, the money is in the list. You're right, Angie. So that's why it's important that you do have your list and you do emails. So when you do a blog or even a video, you can always send them and say, maybe you didn't watch it. So then you say, go and like my my page, and every time I do a new video, you can always connect with me, so you'll know you'll know exactly when I'm going to be live. So you can do this type of emails as well. So don't talk only business, because it can be too much for them, too much on their face. So do diversify. Like I have 14 or 15 different type of emails we could do. Maybe one day I'm going to do a blog about it. 80% content and 20% sales. Exactly, Angie, exactly. Don't always put your selling a product, because it's not going to work out, you know. So you really need to bring content, to bring them tips, to show them that you care, and you are a human person as well, human being that has family, you know. You can talk about your dog, whatever, but have something funny. And it's what I was looking at. Diane Ockman always, I mean, she always have very funny. I'm on our newsletter list, and she is always very funny. So I try to, you know, to do the same thing. So try to do something that will entertain them without putting always yourself in front of them. Okay? So I'm going to repeat for the blog that I would recommend you if you want to start building your blogging list and people coming to you and watching your blogs. First, your personal story. The third-party testimonials, what makes you unique. For is before and after testimonials, and show passion, that you're passionate of what you're doing and why you are doing that, and not only money, but as well helping people, and marketing training. All right. So thank you, Andy. Thank you guys for listening, and I wish you a wonderful evening or day whenever you're watching that. If you want to see my blogs, it's www.followkathy.com. I'm going to put the link of the blog on top of this video, so you'll see everything in writing, so sometimes it's much better to take notes. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys, bye. Thank you, Angie, I really appreciate that. And yes, tomorrow I'm going to do some pictures as well, because I want to have better pictures. And one thing as well that someone told me, when you do your list and you do some when you do your emails, they said a picture is always nice as well, a catchy picture on the top of your emails. And that I found very good, a very good idea, because I never did that. So that's why I'm going to start doing some pictures of stuff, and then put more pictures, so they'll be more entertaining.